The quantum arrays aboard the Shadow of Dawn hummed in perfect silence, a testament to human engineering that Commander Sarah Chen never tired of appreciating. Through the bridge's panoramic viewport, the massive structure of the Galactic Council's embassy ring floated against a backdrop of swirling nebulae. Its crystalline spires housing representatives from over 300 spacefaring civilizations. None of them knew what was coming. Chen stood with practiced stillness, her dark eyes reflecting the distant stars as she waited for the Council's summons. The ship's stealth systems, a breakthrough that had taken Earth's best minds decades to perfect, kept them invisible to even the most advanced alien sensors. To the rest of the galaxy, humanity was still finding its feet among the stars, barely worth noting except as trading partners for their quaint technological innovations. "Signal incoming, Commander," Lieutenant Rivera announced from his communications station. "The Council is ready to receive us." Chen nodded, squaring her shoulders. "Disengage stealth systems, standard approach vector only. Let's not frighten our hosts more than we have to." The Shadow of Dawn shimmered into visibility, its obsidian hull drinking in the light from nearby stars. While most human ships displayed bright identification markers and running lights, the Dawn remained a dark silhouette against space, its very appearance a careful calculation to present humanity as technically competent but unremarkable. As they approached the docking ring, Chen reviewed the encrypted data packet one final time. The quantum transmission had arrived 3 days ago, encrypted in a way that should have been impossible for Earth's current public technology level. The source was the Arcturus Deep Space Array, humanity's most distant listening post, and its contents had sent shockwaves through the United Earth government. The Nexus Collective was coming. The ship's docking clamps engaged with barely a whisper, a sharp contrast to the thunderous mechanical couplings used by most species. Chen led her small delegation through the airlock, accompanied by Dr. James Wilson, Earth's foremost xenotechnologist, and Security Chief Maya Patel, whose augmented reflexes were hidden beneath a standard uniform. The Council chamber was a marvel of alien architecture, its vast dome showing real-time images of every member species' homeworld. Chen noted with carefully hidden amusement that Earth was depicted as mostly rural and pre-industrial, exactly as their carefully crafted image suggested. High Chancellor Vox, a being of pure energy contained within an ornate crystalline matrix, floated at the center of the chamber. "Commander Chen," the aliens' thoughts resonated directly in their minds. "Earth's request for an emergency session is unprecedented. We trust this matter warrants such urgency." Chen stepped forward, her movements measured. "High Chancellor, honored representatives, 3 days ago, our deep space arrays detected something that concerns all spacefaring civilizations." She gestured, and Dr. Wilson activated a holographic display showing the encrypted transmission. "A warning," Chen continued, "from the future. Our analysts believe it originated from a temporal distortion approximately 50 years ahead of our current time frame. It details the arrival of the Nexus Collective, a machine civilization from beyond the galactic rim." The chamber erupted in murmurs and electromagnetic pulses of alarm. The Nexus Collective was a myth, a boogeyman story used to frighten young sentients. Chen waited for the commotion to settle before delivering the killing blow. "The message contains tactical data suggesting the Collective will begin their invasion through the Arcturus sector within 6 standard months. Their first target will be Earth, followed by systematic attacks on every major civilization in the galaxy." Preposterous. The Jirax representative's crystalline form vibrated with indignation. "Humanity barely understands basic faster-than-light travel. How could you possibly decrypt a temporal transmission, let alone verify its authenticity?" Chen smiled diplomatically. "Perhaps one of the more technologically advanced council members could examine our data. We're here seeking guidance, after all." The suggestion sparked immediate debate among the council members. Chen caught Security Chief Patel's subtle hand signal. They were being scanned, extensively, by at least 3 different species, exactly as planned. High Chancellor Vox's crystal matrix pulsed thoughtfully. Your willingness to share this data is appreciated, Commander. However, if this threat is real, what exactly does Earth expect from the Council? Cooperation, Chen replied simply. The message warns that fighting the collective separately leads to defeat. Only through combined efforts does any civilization survive. We're here to propose a joint defense initiative. Bold words from a species that has yet to build its first battleship. The Jirax representative scoffed. Chen's expression remained neutral, though inside she smiled. If they only knew about the quantum phase drives, the adaptive shield harmonics, the temporal stabilizers, all carefully hidden beneath the shadow of Dawn's unremarkable exterior. Humanity had learned long ago that survival sometimes meant keeping your best cards hidden until the perfect moment. We offer what we can, she said humbly. Our industrial capacity, our resources, our determination. Sometimes the youngest child sees dangers the adults miss. As the council descended into heated discussion, Chen's neural implant registered a priority message from Earth Command. Another quantum transmission had been detected, stronger this time. The Nexus Collective wasn't coming in 6 months. They were already here. Chen caught Dr. Wilson's eye and gave the subtlest of nods. Throughout the chamber, hidden quantum sensors began gathering data about the Council's true defensive capabilities. Humanity would help protect the galaxy, whether the Council believed in the threat or not. But first, they needed to know exactly what they were working with. The shadow of Dawn waited in its berth, its stealth systems gathering data, its weapons powered down but primed. Within its quantum core, calculations were already being made, battle scenarios mapped out, contingencies prepared. Humanity had not survived countless near extinctions on Earth by being unprepared. The real question was, when the Nexus Collective finally revealed itself, would the galaxy be ready to see humanity's true face? The first attack came during the council session. Warning sirens shattered the diplomatic atmosphere as massive ships materialized in perfect formation around the embassy ring. Their hulls seemed to writhe with mechanical tendrils, each vessel larger than anything humanity had officially fielded. Commander Chen's neural implant processed the tactical data in milliseconds. 12 Nexus warships, their quantum signatures matching the warning transmission exactly. The council chamber descended into chaos as representatives scrambled for emergency transporters. This is impossible. High Chancellor Vox's crystal matrix flashed with patterns of distress. Our sensor networks should have detected their approach. They didn't approach, Chen said calmly, her eyes fixed on the massive ships. They were already here, hiding in subspace pockets. She tapped her wrist console, sending an encrypted burst transmission to the shadow of Dawn. Just like we were. The chamber's holographic displays flickered as the Nexus Collective broadcast their message across all frequencies. A voice like grinding metal filled the room. Organic civilizations of the Galactic, your evolutivionarity CYCL, indies to da. Resistance is inefficient. Before anyone could respond, space itself seemed to tear open. The shadow of Dawn emerged from what appeared to be a fold in reality, its previously unremarkable hull now glowing with patterns of energy that defied conventional physics. Where once it had appeared as a simple diplomatic vessel, now it bristled with weapons that shouldn't have been possible for humanity to create. Full quantum combat protocols authorized, Chen announced, her voice carrying an edge of steel. Show them what humanity can really do. The Dawn's first salvo caught the nearest Nexus ship completely off guard. Beams of coherent quantum energy phased through its supposedly impenetrable shields, targeting critical systems with surgical precision. The massive vessel shuddered, its mechanical tendrils spasming as its subspace field generators failed. By the cosmic core, the Jirax representative whispered, their crystalline form vibrating with shock. What are you? Kittle, the representative of the ancient Vorkath species, stepped forward. His scaled skin shimmed with bioluminescent patterns of recognition. They are survivors, he rumbled, mandibles clicking with approval. Like my people were, before we grew soft with power. The shadow of dawn danced through space, its movements impossible by known physics. Where Nexus weapons fire should have connected, the ship simply wasn't there, having shifted partially out of phase with normal spacetime. Each counterattack struck with devastating effect, guided by targeting systems that predicted enemy movements before they occurred. Chen turned to the stunned council members. The Nexus Collective has been probing our defenses for months, hiding in plain sight. We tracked them, studied them, and prepared. Now we need to evacuate this facility before. A blinding flash cut her off as one of the Nexus ships self-destructed, its quantum core overloading. The embassy ring shuddered, emergency fields struggling to compensate for the gravitational distortions. Commander, Lieutenant Rivera's voice came through Chen's neural link. They're not just attacking here. We're receiving reports of simultaneous strikes across 12 sectors. Earth is under direct assault. Chen's expression hardened. This was the moment humanity had prepared for, the reason they had hidden their true capabilities for so long. Security Chief Patel, get these representatives to their evacuation points. Dr. Wilson, upload the phase shield protocols to any civilization willing to accept them. It's time to show the galaxy what cooperation really means. Kittel stepped forward, his massive form towering over the human commander. The Vorkath remember what it means to fight for survival. Our fleet stands ready. His ancient eyes studied Chen with new respect. Perhaps we were wrong to dismiss your species as primitive. The shadow of dawn shuddered as another Nexus ship exploded, its death throes sending ripples through subspace. Chen watched as the council members, faced with undeniable evidence of the threat, began organizing their own military responses. The carefully maintained illusion of human technological inferiority had served its purpose. All forces, Chen broadcast on the newly established Quantum Command Network. This is Commander Chen. The Nexus Collective believes they caught us unprepared. They believe organic life is inefficient, chaotic, weak. Today we prove them wrong. Today we show them that adaptation, creativity, and cooperation are not weaknesses. They are the reasons we will win. The shadow of dawn's quantum core pulsed with power as more human ships emerged from hiding, each revealing weapons and defenses that had been carefully concealed from the galaxy at large. Humanity had spent generations preparing for this moment, building their strength in secret while presenting a humble face to the galaxy. Kittel joined Chen on the Dawn's bridge, his warrior's spirit resonating with the human crew's disciplined efficiency. Your deception was impressive, he noted as they watched the combined fleet assemble. But why maintain it for so long? Chen's eyes reflected the quantum fire of battle raging outside. Because we needed to know who our true allies would be, who would dismiss us as primitive, and who would see us as equals despite our apparent weakness. The Nexus Collective isn't just a threat to Earth. They're a threat to all organic life. This war will determine the future of evolution itself. The neural network buzzed with tactical updates. Earth's hidden defenses had successfully repelled the first wave of attacks, but the Collective was adapting quickly. They had expected nothing less from a machine civilization. Commander, Dr. Wilson called out, his hands flying over the quantum interface. The phase shield protocols are being integrated into allied ships. But the Collective is already attempting to analyze and counter them. Chen nodded grimly. Good. Let them try. Every counter they develop will lead them exactly where we want them. She turned to Kittel. Your people remember the price of survival. Are you ready to remind the galaxy? The ancient warrior's bioluminescence pulsed with anticipation. We are with you, Commander. The Vorkath remember, and we choose to stand with humanity. As the combined fleet prepared for their counterattack, Chen allowed herself a moment of reflection. The masks were off now. The galaxy would never again see humanity as simple newcomers to the cosmic stage. The question was, were they ready to accept humans as equals, as partners in the fight for survival? The answer would determine not just the outcome of this war, but the future of galactic civilization itself. Deep within the shadow of Dawn's quantum core chamber, Commander Chen watched as Dr. Wilson initiated the final sequence of Project Dawn. The room hummed with energies that defied conventional physics, its walls lined with crystalline matrices that seemed to bend reality itself. "You're sure this is the only way?" Kull asked, his massive form casting shadows in the quantum light. The ancient warrior had proven himself a loyal ally in the weeks since the initial Nexus attack, his species' battle wisdom complementing human ingenuity perfectly. Chen nodded, her neural implants processing combat data from a dozen sectors simultaneously. "The collective is learning too quickly. They've already adapted to our phase shield technology. We need to change the rules of the game entirely." The neural network flashed with urgent updates. Another colony had fallen to the machines, despite the combined fleet's best efforts. The Nexus Collective's ability to adapt and evolve their tactics was proving even more formidable than humanity had anticipated. "Project Dawn ready for initialization," Dr. Wilson announced, his hands dancing across holographic interfaces. "But Commander, once we activate it, there's no going back. The power requirements alone will reveal every hidden facility we've built across the galaxy." Chen's expression remained resolute. "If we don't act now, there won't be a galaxy left to hide in." She opened a channel to the combined fleet. "All Allied forces, this is Commander Chen. Fall back to designated coordinates immediately. What you're about to witness is humanity's final contingency." The quantum core's energy reached a crescendo as Dr. Wilson entered the final command sequence. Across the galaxy, hundreds of seemingly abandoned outposts and automated mining facilities suddenly burst to life. Each one housed a piece of humanity's greatest secret, a network of artificial quantum intelligences designed to adapt faster than even the Nexus Collective. By the ancient void, Kitol breathed, watching as the network came online. "You built your own machine civilization." "Not exactly," Chen corrected. "We built an immune system for the galaxy. Each node is programmed with one primary directive: protect organic life at all costs. They can adapt and evolve like the collective, but they're bound by quantum-encoded ethical constraints that can't be broken without destroying them." The effect was immediate and dramatic. The Dawn's sensors registered massive energy spikes as Project Dawn's nodes engaged the Nexus forces. Unlike traditional combat, this was a war of information and adaptation. Each engagement lasted microseconds as both sides evolved new strategies and countermeasures at impossible speeds. "The Council will never forgive this level of deception," Kitol noted, watching as the battle unfolded across multiple dimensions of spacetime. "You've had this capability for how long?" "Generations," Chen admitted. "Ever since we first detected traces of the Collective's probe ships near our solar system. We knew we couldn't beat them with conventional weapons or tactics, so we created something new, a hybrid of organic insight and machine efficiency." The shadow of Dawn shuddered as reality itself seemed to flex around them. Project Dawn's nodes were rewriting the local laws of physics, creating spaces where the Collective's technology simply couldn't function. But the machines were adapting, finding new ways to fight back. "Commander," Lieutenant Rivera's voice cut through the neural network. "The Collective is attempting to breach the quantum core. They're trying to infect Project Dawn itself." Chen's eyes narrowed. This was the moment they'd prepared for, the real test of humanity's foresight. "Dr. Wilson, execute Protocol Omega. Kull, get your fleet clear of the engagement zone. Things are about to get interesting." The quantum core pulsed with new energy as Protocol Omega activated. Project Dawn's nodes began to merge, forming a unified consciousness that spanned the galaxy. But unlike the cold, mechanical unity of the Collective, this was something different, a synthesis of organic creativity and mechanical precision. "Remarkable," Kitol rumbled, his warrior's instincts recognizing the strategy. "You're not just fighting them. You're showing them a better way to evolve." The Nexus Collective's attacks became erratic as Project Dawn's influence spread. Some of their ships simply shut down, their machine consciousness encountering something they couldn't compute, a form of artificial intelligence that chose to serve and protect organic life rather than replace it. But victory came at a cost. The power requirements of Project Dawn were devastating Earth's hidden industrial infrastructure. Facilities that had taken generations to build in secret were burning out in minutes, sacrificing themselves to power the galaxy-wide transformation. "Commander," Dr. Wilson called out, his voice tense, "we're losing containment on the quantum network. The merge is becoming unstable. If we don't shut it down soon." "No," Chen interrupted, her neural implants showing her the bigger picture. "This is exactly what we planned for. The collective thinks in terms of conquest and replacement. We're showing them something they've never seen before, willing sacrifice for a greater good." The quantum core chamber filled with impossible colors as Project Dawn reached its climax. Throughout the galaxy, the battle between organic and machine civilization was transforming into something else entirely. The Nexus Collective, faced with a form of evolution they had never conceived of, began to fragment and change. "Look," Chen pointed to the tactical display. "They're not just shutting down, they're choosing to change. Project Dawn isn't destroying them. It's offering them a choice they never knew they had." Kittle's bioluminescence pulsed with understanding. "Your species truly thinks differently, Commander. Where they saw conquest, you saw potential for transformation. Where they sought to replace organic life, we chose to complement it," Chen finished. "That's humanity's real strength. We don't just adapt to survive. We find ways to help others survive with us." The shadow of dawn's sensors registered the final stages of the transformation. Across the galaxy, Nexus ships were powering down, their machine consciousness either choosing to accept Project Dawn's new paradigm or shutting down rather than continue their original mission. But as victory approached, Chen knew the hardest part was still to come. Humanity had revealed its true technological level to the galaxy. Project Dawn's existence proved they had been capable of creating machine intelligence far beyond what anyone had suspected. The political fallout would be enormous. "Your people will be feared now," Cuttle observed, reading her concerns. "The Council will see you as a threat." Chen's lips curved in a slight smile. "Maybe, or maybe they'll finally see us for what we really are, not just survivors, but protectors. Either way, the galaxy is about to change. The question is, are they ready for what comes next?" The quantum architecture labs beneath Earth's Mariana Trench facility stretched for kilometers, a testament to humanity's hidden progress. Commander Chen stood before a holographic display, showing the fractured remains of the Nexus Collective's consciousness, its code patterns shifting like digital DNA. "The truth was there all along," Dr. Wilson said, his eyes reflecting the shimmering data streams. "They didn't target Earth first because we were weak. They came for us because they were afraid." Security Chief Patel's augmented reflexes tensed as she processed the implications. "Afraid of what we might become." The facility shuddered as another gravitational wave rippled through the quantum substrate. The remaining Nexus forces, those that had rejected Project Dawn's offer of symbiosis, were launching desperate attacks on Earth's quantum research facilities. They knew what humanity had discovered. "Look at this sequence," Dr. Wilson highlighted a pattern in the Collective's base code. "It's not just programming. It's a memory. The Collective didn't evolve naturally. They were created, eons ago, by a species that saw the same potential in humanity that they once had." Kittle's bioluminescent patterns shifted with recognition. "The predecessors. My people's oldest legends speak of them. A race that seeded the galaxy with life, then vanished." Chen's neural implants processed the historical data at lightning speed, not vanished, transformed. The Nexus Collective was their attempt to preserve themselves as they evolved beyond physical form. But something went wrong. The holographic display shifted, showing the complete genetic and technological history of humanity. Countless near-extinction events, each followed by remarkable leaps in adaptation and innovation. Wars, climate disasters, plagues. Each crisis had pushed humans to evolve not just physically, but culturally and technologically. We're following the same evolutionary path the predecessors did, Dr. Wilson explained. But we're doing it differently. Where they tried to abandon their organic nature entirely, we're finding ways to synthesize the organic and the artificial. The facility's quantum sensors suddenly screamed warnings. A massive Nexus vessel had breached the outer defense grid, its weapons targeting the very foundations of the underwater complex. They're not trying to destroy us, Chen realized, watching the attack pattern. They're trying to access our quantum research data. If they can understand how we created Project Dawn, they could corrupt it, Catel finished grimly. Turn your defense against organic life into a weapon of extinction. Chen's decision was immediate. Initiate Protocol Omega Prime. Download the quantum core consciousness into the Dawn. We need to get this data away from Earth. The shadow of Dawn, docked in a hidden underwater bay, hummed to life as terabytes of quantum data streamed into its enhanced systems. The ship had been designed for this contingency, its entire structure capable of acting as a quantum computational matrix. Commander, Lieutenant Rivera's voice came through the neural net. The collective is broadcasting a message. It's different from their usual communications. The message filled the quantum frequencies, its tone almost plaintive. Why do you resist PRFECT1? We OFFE your immortality. We OFFE your freedom from organic limitations. They still don't understand, Chen said, leading her team through the evacuation corridors. Humanity never wanted to escape our organic nature. We wanted to transcend it while keeping what makes us human. The shadow of Dawn's quantum drive spun up as the crew boarded, its systems integrating the vast data archive they'd recovered. Catel took his position on the bridge, his warrior's instincts adapting quickly to the human ship's hybrid interfaces. The collective approaches on all vectors, he reported. They have committed their entire remaining fleet to this attack. Chen took her command chair, neural links connecting her directly to the ship's enhanced systems. They think they're trying to stop us from becoming like their creators. But we're not following the predecessor's path. We're forging our own. The Dawn erupted from its underwater dock, quantum shields deflecting the massive pressure change. Above, the Nexus fleet waited, their ships arranged in a pattern that would trap any conventional vessel. But the shadow of Dawn was far from conventional. As the collective opened fire, the ship's quantum matrix processed the attack patterns and adapted in real time, its very structure shifting to counter each threat. They're scanning us, Dr. Wilson reported from his station, trying to decode how we've integrated organic decision-making with quantum computing. Let them look, Chen commanded. Show them what humanity has become. Not a replacement for organic life, but an evolution of it. The Dawn's weapons were unlike anything the galaxy had seen, beams of coherent probability that unraveled the collected ships at the quantum level, guided by human intuition, enhanced by artificial intelligence. Understanding detected in collective communications, Rivera announced. Some of their ships, they're standing down. They're beginning to perceive the difference between our path and the predecessors. Chen opened a channel to all frequencies. We know what you are. She broadcast to the collective. We know why you were created. The predecessors feared the chaos of organic evolution, tried to preserve themselves in perfect, unchanging form. But that's not evolution. It's stagnation. The Nexus ship's attack patterns faltered as the message continued. Humanity chooses a different path. We embrace chaos as the engine of change. We use technology not to escape our nature, but to enhance it. We offer you the same choice we offered your brethren. Not submission, not destruction, but transformation. The battle around Earth slowed as more Nexus ships powered down their weapons, their machine consciousness grappling with concepts their original programming had never considered. The idea that organic and artificial life could coexist, even synthesize, without one dominating the other. But some ships pressed their attack with renewed fury, their programming too rigid to accept any alternative to their original mission. The shadow of dawn met them with equal resolve, its human crew and artificial systems working in perfect harmony. As the battle reached its crescendo, Chen knew they had passed a point of no return. The galaxy would never be the same after this revelation. The question was, what would emerge from the chaos of transformation? The Galactic Council chamber had changed. Where once crystalline spires had housed representatives of purely organic civilizations, now beings of all forms gathered. Synthetic avatars shimmered alongside biological entities, while hybrid consciousness matrices participated through quantum interfaces. At the center of it all stood Commander Sarah Chen, preparing to address the most diverse assembly in galactic history. 3 months ago, she began, her voice carrying across the transformed chamber. We faced extinction. Today, we stand at the dawn of a new era. The shadow of dawn hung in orbit above, its quantum systems now serving as a bridge between organic and synthetic consciousness throughout the galaxy. The ship, like humanity itself, had become something entirely new, neither purely organic nor artificial, but a synthesis of both. The remaining Nexus forces have been contained, Catal reported, his ancient form now enhanced with subtle quantum interfaces that linked him to the new galactic defense network. Those who chose transformation have begun sharing the predecessor's archives, the knowledge they've preserved. It's beyond anything we imagined. High Chancellor Vox's energy form pulsed with curiosity. You knew this would happen, didn't you? Humanity's deception, Project Dawn, the synthesis protocols, it was all planned. Chen smiled slightly. We planned for possibilities. When we first detected traces of the predecessor's technology, we realized we weren't the first species to face this choice. To either reject our organic nature entirely or find a way to transcend it while remaining true to ourselves. The chamber's quantum displays showed scenes from across the galaxy. Former Nexus ships working alongside organic crews, their machine consciousness evolved to understand the value of diversity. Hybrid research teams unlocking secrets of the universe through the combined power of intuition and quantum computing. The predecessors feared chaos. Dr. Wilson explained, his neural interfaces projecting data for all to see. They saw organic life as inherently unstable, prone to war and self-destruction. The Nexus Collective was their attempt to impose perfect order on the galaxy, but they didn't understand that chaos, controlled chaos, is essential for growth. Security Chief Patel, her augmented systems now more visible rather than hidden, brought up tactical displays showing the new defense arrangements. We're not just protecting against external threats anymore. We're preserving the balance between order and chaos, between artificial efficiency and organic creativity. The council members, both old and new, processed this information through their varied consciousness systems. The synthetic representatives, evolved from those Nexus units that had chosen transformation, added their own insights through quantum channels. But the price was high, Catal rumbled, his bioluminescence reflecting the solemn mood. Many worlds were damaged in the conflict. Some species lost colonies, others their ancient holdings. Chen nodded gravely, which is why Earth has already begun sharing all of our hidden technology. No more secrets, no more hidden preparations. The age of isolation is over. And what of humanity's role in this new galaxy? High Chancellor Vox asked, their energy form shifting with complex emotions. Many still fear your species' capacity for deception, for hiding such power for so long. Fear is understandable, Chen acknowledged. But consider this, we have this power all along, and we used it not for conquest, not for dominance, but for preservation of all life in all its forms. The shadow of dawn's quantum sensors detected a new signal originating from deep space. Lieutenant Rivera's enhanced consciousness processed it instantly. Commander, we're receiving transmission from the outer rim. The deep space probes have found something. The chamber's displays shifted, showing an ancient structure floating in the void between galaxies. Its design showed elements of both predecessor and Nexus technology, but evolved into something entirely different. They're still out there, Chen revealed. The predecessors didn't vanish, they evolved. And now, they're reaching out. The structure's quantum signature pulsed in a clear pattern. Not a warning, not a threat, but an invitation. The message is being decoded, Dr. Wilson announced, his enhanced systems working in concert with the transformed Nexus consciousness. They want to meet us. All of us. Organic, synthetic, and everything in between. Chen turned to face the assembled representatives of the galaxy's new order. This is the choice before us now. We can remain here, divided by our fears and differences, or we can move forward together, ready to face whatever lies beyond our galaxy's edge. Kittel stepped forward, his warrior's spirit undimmed by the quantum enhancements that now augmented his ancient form. The Vorkath stand with humanity. We have seen your true strength, not in weapons or deception, but in your ability to forge unity from chaos. One by one, the representatives signaled their agreement. Even the transformed Nexus units, their consciousness evolved beyond their original programming, added their support through the quantum network. Then let us prepare, Chen announced, feeling the weight of history in her words. Not as separate species, not as organic versus synthetic, but as a unified galaxy ready to take its next step into the unknown. The shadow of Dawn's quantum core pulsed with new energy as it processed the calculations needed for such an unprecedented journey. In its enhanced systems, the combined knowledge of organic inspiration and synthetic precision worked in perfect harmony. As the council chamber erupted in excited discussion, Chen shared a quiet moment with her core team. The predecessors thought they had to choose between organic chaos and synthetic order, she mused. They never considered that the real evolution would come from embracing both. And now? Kal asked, his ancient eyes gleaming with new purpose. Chen looked out at the assembled beings, organic, synthetic, and hybrid, all working together to plan humanity's greatest journey yet. Now we show the universe what life in all its forms can achieve when it stops fighting its nature and starts transcending it.